you know nothing about. Or 3, you can call the guys you've known for a long time. Yes Air Conditioning. They're run by a bunch of slightly obsessive neat freaks who will do the job so well you may never see them again. When AC problems arise, the Yes Man can. Call Yes Air Conditioning, 888-4937, or go online to theyesmancan.com. License 71246.
While the entire world gets through these difficult times, ESPN Las Vegas is here to keep you laughing and entertained. Thanks for listening. KWWN Las Vegas. It's Cofield and Company.
There's something wrong with me. I start to crack up so much watching dogs flip out and run in place.
Betty or Wilma?
Wilma.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, insane.
You know I always go for the offbeat. If you get a text, that means we're not talking on the phone. That's it.
It's time for Cofield and Company with Steve Cofield on ESPN Las Vegas.
Happy Monday to everyone. I like when I'm the least angry person on the show, and by far, I'm exactly that. We got Eternal Lockdowner with his mask across the way, and Ari shaking in his boots. Adam, JVT just joined us. He's all angry. Adam can't trust anyone. We got good news today. California, New York, Texas, let's go. They're ready to open up for sports. Bunch of sad sacks. Pick it up. Big 5 time.
Battle-Born Injury Lawyers presents the Big 5 at 5. Number 5.
If you listen to the first 2 hours, some angst, some anger, and those are the stories we allowed on the show. The cutting room floor. Like a lava pit. My God. I'm going to try to fake this one, but even I can't fake this one. Scarface, the remake? Do we need it?
No, I think that's number 4 now. No, I don't think we need it. There's some promising signs, I guess. Like I think in general, we could just say, yeah, we definitely don't need this. But Coen Brothers wrote it. They're producing it, directing it, I guess.
Who are they?
I mean, some of the greatest filmmakers of all time. They've made Fargo, Big Lebowski, Burn After Reading. Like, there's an incredible list that they've made. What? Raising Arizona.
I was just looking at how old Scarface is. Just time's flying, man. Time's flying. 37-year-old movie, and we're like, there's no reason to make a new movie. But keep going with the Coen Brothers. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I listed a couple of their movies. They've made a ton of ridiculously good movies. They're awesome. But I would maybe like to see them do a different project than try to do Scarface again. Now, Scarface was a remake. I don't think a lot of people know that. Scarface was originally made in like 1937 or some like crazy time back then. And then they remade it. It was unbelievable. One of the greatest movies ever. Do we need it again? The first one was Chicago. The second one was Miami. This one will be LA. So there'll be some differences. And the star?
Will there be a Tony Montana?
Yeah. The star, at least for now, not officially confirmed. And by the way, this movie has gone through a lot of changes. It was originally supposed to be done in like 2011. So it's been a long time coming of trying to get this done. But now the actor that's been attached to it, Michael B. Jordan, who is incredible. I just don't know. Like, he's great. They're great at making movies. Scarface is great. Like, all these things are great.
It's a very dangerous project to take on.
Yeah, it is.
People love Scarface.
Yeah.
It was very dangerous to take on A Star is Born and try to top Barbra Streisand and Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, they did.
But Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper did.
It was incredible.
And I listened to Shallow every day on the ride home and cry.
I mean, and they got fortunate, I guess, with the songs being so good that people want to hear the music anyway. Like, all those things are good. Here's the problem, though.
Yes.
A lot of people have seen the original Star is Born. Not everyone. Like, everyone has seen Scarface.
There's actually 2. Maybe there might have even been 3. There was a couple A Star is Born movies before
Right.
Cooper and Gaga.
Not, like, I mean, a lot of people had seen it, but really a lot of older people had seen it. That was kind of for a new generation. I feel like the younger generation loves Scarface, and they've already seen it. That's the difference in this one. It is going to have a huge standard to live up to. That is tough.
I feel like you're still not stretching your boundaries on what you're watching during this quarantine.
That's true. I watch The Office every night. I was actually watching the
I don't
British
understand
Office
why you
last
don't try new things or old things, like other old things other than The Office.
I think I've said this. This is an indictment on me, no question. When I start watching something,
then do it.
I'm all in.
Then do it.
And if it's bad, then it's like a nightmare for me. I can't get out. I can't eject.
That's just stupid.
And so I'll just keep watching. Like, I think I've said
But
this.
who are you proving a point to?
Nobody.
Now
Myself.
you're like self-martyring.
Yeah, myself.
I'm just going to wallow in guilt, but I can't get out of it.
Yeah,
Then
I
you just
can't-
have this internal conversation. Get out. No, get out.
I
can't.
said-
like what?
I think I said
Just stop.
Too Hot to Handle it's literally the dumbest show ever made. It's the worst show I've ever seen. I watched it in one sitting because once I watched like the first two and I was like, this sucks. I had to find out what happened, and I was miserable for like 3 days. I can't commit to something because I'm stuck in it and I will not get out of it.
I watched the Longest Yard remake over the weekend.
I actually like that.
Did you?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Any miscasting at all with Sandler as Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, it was
Like when Burt Reynolds comes in at like 65 and you're like, he still looks like he's more dangerous as a football player than Adam Sandler is.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't ideal.
A lot of big guys, though. A lot of big guys. That was a classic big guy movie. Kevin Nash from wrestling.
Yeah.
A little bit effeminate.
It was. I mean, did you like it?
I didn't think it was terrible.
Yeah, it was fine.
I didn't think it was terrible.
I mean, I watched like a new comedy special over the weekend.
Okay.
Expended a little bit.
There you go.
Mark Normand, who I enjoy.
Okay.
But I already knew like it was going to be good. It's gonna be mine.
I also started watching the Rockford Files.
I know you
That started in 1974, and we'll have to do this later in the week, and we'll probably do it a little bit on the late night happy hour video stream that we do up at Steve Cofield on ESPN Las Vegas Facebook at 10:30 each night. I feel like we found the next Chris Farley.
You feel like we have.
Everyone needs to watch The Wrong Missy.
Okay. I'll watch it. It's how long is it? 2 hours?
90 minutes.
All right, I can do that. I'll get through it.
David Spade needs a new lease on life with a sidekick. Farley's been gone a long time. What's her name? Lauren Lapkus?
Yeah.
Think she's got it?
Okay.
I think she's got it.
Not similarly built.
No, not at all.
So
Don't check Rotten Tomatoes on the rankings
oh no.
before you watch the movie.
Oh boy.
It has not been received well.
I very much trust Rotten Tomatoes. The Pete Davidson movie, I thought it was coming out like this week, and I was so excited. It's coming out like June 12th. And I gotta wait for that. So I'll find something to watch. But maybe your Rockford Files viewing, maybe that's a way to involve Kurt Hill in the late night happy hour. His favorite show of all time.
Will he be part of it?
I mean, he probably can't figure out how to stream, but I think he would do it. He's obsessed with that show. He loves it. That and something that I've never seen called Paper Chase,
Okay.
which is another movie from that or show from that era.
Yeah.
That's his two shows.
All right. And I'm going to jump into Lost soon. I'm going to jump into Lost.
That is too much. I can't do anything that's like multiple seasons like that. I just can't do it.
Life is tough. First world problems. I can't watch TV.
Number 4.
NBA players. I mean, their life is tough. Don't want to come back and play basketball. Wimps. Some have legit concerns, right?
Sure. They do.
Larry Nance, the younger one,
Yeah.
is saying, hey, we have some things to consider here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to come back.
Right.
Pansy, guys in the 80s would have come back from the coronavirus.
There's this really weird thing, and I've heard it from some of my friends who are, just bring sports back immediately people that are like, this doesn't affect healthy people. Healthy people are fine. Athletes are fine. You're fine. I'm fine. Not everybody is quote unquote healthy, if you want to look at it that way. And Larry Nance is trying to speak out about this. Larry Nance has Crohn's disease. And he is saying, like, I hope we can figure this out. He said, I hope there'd be an understanding if someone didn't feel comfortable coming back that you'd get a pass. Just because you may look like the picture of health, some people have issues that you can't see. Yes, correct. Like this whole narrative of like, why are athletes scared? They're healthy. They're fine. No healthy people are affected. Yeah, not all athletes are healthy. And I mean healthy as in terms of like you could have underlying conditions that you just don't know about or can't see. There's players that are diabetic. There's players that have issues where they feel like if they got this, they might die. Like, and to dismiss that and diminish that is just so disgusting. And I'm sure there's people out there that are hearing this. They're like, stop whining. You make enough money. Go play. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Angry typing guy on a phone.
Completely obnoxious. And so I think Larry Nance raises really, really good points that need to be addressed as a part of the million things that need to be addressed for sports to come back. This is definitely one of them.
Top 3 stories.
Number 3.
Do you think we've overdone it with the Karen thing?
No.
I mean, I'm watching The Last Dance. Pacers, Bulls. There's a blonde lady screaming at the Bulls at Market Square Arena. Immediately, people are like, there's a Karen. All right. We are allowed, we're not allowed, she is a Karen. The lady in South Florida who is, in front of Joakim Noah with, the middle finger right in his face. That's over the line. But some blonde lady in 1998 going, in your face. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, but it's
Why
funny.
are we smearing the good name of mildly attractive blonde women in 1998?
I saw a lot of people that had more problems with her wearing a cutoff polo than her yelling and screaming.
Oh, she had some pipes.
It's a weird look. The cutoff polo is a weird look. And the fans of Indiana just really did not come across well in this documentary.
Why not?
They're just outside. They're just screaming and very uncivilized. In a lot of
People
ways.
hated Michael Jordan. They hated the Bulls. They were the enemy.
But
People love their Reggie Millers and Karl Malones in places like Utah and Indiana.
But yeah, a lot of people were calling this woman Karen or the original Karen, or somebody had the meme. This is what you look like when they won't let you into Gelson's without a mask, which is a great cross reference.
We'll have that story in the Big Five.
It's great, but I felt a lot more people were criticizing her shirt than were criticizing her. People were really upset about the shirt.
That's an 80s, 90s shirt. Frankly, it looks like she's going to play tennis. She kind of reminded me of Will Obey, who was, a pretty big time broadcaster at the time and part of Inside Stuff. And she was featured in The Last Dance. It turns out this lady is named Kathy Martin Harrison, and she now owns a bunch of car dealerships, which makes sense. She has a courtside seat, and her dad has given her the car dealership. So if you want to be angry about that, then I guess be angry about that. But just some lady yelling at the Bulls in your face.
Not everyone. I will say Nicole Arbach, the writer, who is pretty good on Twitter, she tweeted out, "I've never loved anyone as much as I love this woman."
Really?
Yeah. She put a picture of her up, and she was like, "This is my favorite person."
Do you think part of it is also, I was just talking about Lauren Lapkus, the new Chris Farley, and I think a lot of people hated that movie because it's a female buffoon, right? The female comic buffoon. I think there's a lot of people out there who just hate female sports fans if they're too boisterous.
Possible. They all of them seem to become memes. As you mentioned, the middle finger lady with Noah.
There was the woman courtside at the OKC game who owns Loves.
Yeah.
Or her husband did. Now she does. I forget her name, but screaming at LeBron like, "Oh, LeBron!"
Screaming ladies at games are very popular for Twitter.
Top 2 stories.
Number 2.
All right. Which unchecked fables from The Last Dance do we need to address? One, let's do the simple one.
Okay.
You are a Michael Jordan stan.
What?
Bob Costas, if you try to say that we didn't see what we saw in Game 6, 98 finals, I don't want to hear Brian Russell was on his toes and going in that direction and that Jordan's left hand on his hip had no effect. Stop. That's what Costas actually said. It was a push-off. How? My God.
It's unbelievable.
How do we get to a point? It's on film. He created space with a push-off. And, crazy enough, in today's game, where the offensive foul is such a coveted call for the officials, would they have called that in that moment? Less than 20 seconds left? The greatest player of his generation? They would have to, wouldn't they?
I don't know.
It seems like they call everything offensive now. It's a wave to clear him out of the way.
Yeah.
And Costas is like, it was like the maitre d' waving you to your table. Like, what are you talking
We
about?
still do have superstar calls. One of the things that they certainly didn't address is that Jordan could get breathed on and it was a foul, and Jordan could do whatever he wanted, and it wasn't a foul. And that was something that players complained about all the time during his era.
And that has always been the case, except for Shaq and, do we say it? Do we say it?
LeBron.
You said it. I didn't. Where's the Arthur fist?
Yeah, LeBron doesn't get the superstar treatment for whatever reason, and Jordan always did. And that's something, like, there was no fear of going to the rim ever because there's no offensive fouls on Jordan. And if somebody breathed on him, he's going to the free throw line. And so,
can you imagine what Jordan's reaction would be to some of the freaking hyper-charge guys today? The officials who were like, boom! They freaking love the charge calls.
Love it.
Dancing down the floor, off the back of the head.
And
all creative Enrico Palazzo reffing basketball.
On his baseline move, how many times he would have got called for the hook? That hook that he did all the time, that now is a foul, and it wasn't in his day. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they would have called it now. They definitely wouldn't have called it then. He could have done whatever he wanted.
Bad shape. I think I jacked up my left arm with that aggressive charge call.
Was it a foul? An offensive foul? Yeah, it was. It's not 100% call though. Like, we know that's not going to be called all the time.
But don't come on and say that, like, nothing happened. He cleared out space. He had a guy going in a direction, and he shoved him to the side with his left hand, and he made the shot. Now, in the end, he had to make the shot. Great play. The other fable that you believe is ridiculous is the whole food poisoning thing.
Yeah, no chance.
Now, you have it on decent authority from people around Vegas. Like, you believe that he had traveled to Vegas, or there was something going on that had nothing to do with food poisoning, and that's why he felt like such ass in the food poisoning game?
Well, that's
or the flu game, as they called it.
There's always been talk about their trips to Vegas when they played Utah. Like, and it wasn't just that. It's not that night, but there's always been talk about the Bulls, sneaking away to Vegas.
So you're putting two and
series.
two together. You don't have inside info saying that in that particular case, it was not food poisoning.
No, but the food poisoning story has been out for a while. It was new to a lot of people last night. That's been out for a while. But the flu part was like, wait, what? Like, nobody else on the team got it? And then it was, that's because it was food poisoning. Right. It wasn't the flu.
And now we're to believe by the story in Last Dance that he got a pizza, 5 guys delivered it. There was no suspicion at all. They're just like, here you go, MJ, eat the pizza. And then MJ is like, get out. This is all mine.
Yeah.
And then his best friend, his confidant, his trainer, no one gets pizza. Just me.
And then now there's supporting stories because that was so unbelievable that other people are like, oh, no, I was with Jordan a lot where he would order a pizza and then spit on it so nobody else could have any of it. Like, that was a regular thing he would do. Because now they're covering up for the fact, as you said, because now people are saying, wait, what? This story doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, no, that's what Jordan did. He used to eat pizza on his own. He used to spit on it.
Wait, what does that say about him? That he spit on his pizza and wouldn't offer any slices? Yeah. How about get more pizza?
Well, this is just all covering up the fact that that's not what happened. Nobody really believes that, do they?
As always, the lies are worse than the original crime.
Of course. Now, for how long I've heard that referred to as the Hennessy flu from Jordan for years, and now it's the food poisoning. Like, there's just been so many things that just don't add up. Which story is real? I don't know. Is it possible? Sure. It's not likely or believable. It's possible. And why wasn't that the story first? Like, why wasn't that the story right away? He had a pizza last night. It didn't agree with him. That's what happened. Who called it the flu?
I really like this documentary, but there were more than a few stories that came out where we got to see a little bit of a counter. Never during the documentary.
No.
But in some interviews where people are like, wait, his reason for motivation with this story or that story, like, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Or like, I was completely unaware. What? Like, we had George Karl on Friday, and George Karl was like, yeah, the whole thing about me walking past him in a restaurant and being a jerk to him, like, I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah, they pointed out with a couple guys of like, oh, this guy came up and said, you'll never stop. Well, who was the Bullets guy? I can't even remember.
LeBradford Smith?
Yeah, LeBradford Smith.
Told this whole story.
And
then it's like, it didn't really happen.
And then even Jordan is like, yeah, it didn't really. I told my teammates that. Like, what? There's just so many lies.
By the way, if you're mad that there could be a real story that's worth looking into on the flu game, what's your problem? Like, because I saw a lot of people mentioning that, like, basically, like, I don't want to know. Yeah. Like, anyone even addressing this it's just ridiculous. We bury our head in the sand. There's probably a story that's behind the story.
Yeah. What's the problem with knowing what happened? But so, like, you're trying to. I love this story of getting food poisoning. What? Why can't we just leave it like that? Okay. I guess if you just want to, as you said, bury your head in the sand and just pretend everything is hilarious and good. I guess so.
Number 1.
All right, good news. Good news. I'm in a good mood. I'm not so sure about the other two guys in studio, but New York, California, Texas, all the governor's saying, sports, let's go. Next couple of weeks, no fans. We're ready to go. We'll play some of the sound bites for you, and then we'll ask the question, Governor Sisolak, what's going on here? We're getting outpaced by Nevada, Florida, New York, California. Come on.
It's the Big 5 at 5, brought to you by Battle